TALAT KHUN DAP, the market of the forgotten. My name is Somphong, and I've lived in Ban Hao alone my entire life. It's a small town nestled along the Mekong River in northern Laos, where the wide, lazy river snakes its way down from China, carrying silt and secrets from upstream. This was back between 2008 and 2015, when the town still had that faded, forgotten feel, like an old trading post left behind after the river commerce shifted to highways. The streets were narrow and rutted, lined with weathered wooden houses on stilts, and the old market in the center was just a cluster of stalls selling river fish, vegetables, and cheap goods from Thailand. I worked as a maintenance guy at the local power station, a steady job, if not exciting. The hydroelectric system was unreliable back then, prone to blackouts from heavy rains flooding the turbines or dry spells starving them of water. Power outages were routine, especially at night. People adapted. They lit candles, fired up kerosene lamps, or just went to bed early. For me, blackouts were just technical glitches. Check the lines, replace fuses, wait for the grid to stabilize. I didn't believe in ghosts or the old folks' tales whispered by the river. Life was about tangible things: voltage, amps, circuits. That's how I kept everything in order, including my own mind. I remember the first time things got weird, like it was yesterday. It was a rainy evening in 2010. The sky had been dumping water since afternoon, thunder cracking like whips across the heavens. I was at the station, monitoring the control panel, when the alarms blared. The screens flickered and went dark. I radioed the upstream hydro plant, but the line was staticky before cutting out entirely. Flooding the turbines, they managed to say. I trudged home through the downpour, my rubber boots sloshing in ankle-deep puddles. My house was a simple two-story, wooden place near the old market, with a view of the empty lot behind it, a patch of overgrown grass and river debris where kids played soccer during the day. By the time I got there, the whole town was pitch black. No street lights, no generator hums from the wealthier homes, not even flickers from cooking fires or candles. Absolute darkness, as if the town had been swallowed whole. I figured it was a standard outage, so I grabbed my old flashlight, plopped down on the worn couch, and tried to read a technical manual on electrical systems. The air was thick with humidity, the scent of river mud seeping through the open windows. I sipped a warm beer lao from the fridge, powerless now, and waited. But then, through the window, I spotted faint glows in the empty lot behind the market. Not electric lights, but soft, yellowish flickers like oil lamps or beeswax candles. They bobbed gently, outlining what looked like a makeshift night market. At first, I thought it might be river smugglers. Our town had a history as a transshipment point for goods along the Mekong, from Chinese contraband to fresh catfish. But a market in this storm, curiosity got the better of me. I threw on a raincoat, pocketed the flashlight, and stepped out. The rain had eased to a drizzle, but the streets were slick and silent, no one else around, as if everyone had vanished with the power. I switched off the flashlight as I neared the lot, not wanting to draw attention. Then the whispers started, not the loud haggling of daytime markets, but low murmurs, like secrets being bartered in the dark. I slipped between the stalls, and that's when I realized this wasn't normal. No modern counters with tin roofs, just crude wooden stalls draped in rough cloth, illuminated by beeswax candles, dripping wax, and kerosene lamps, casting eerie shadows. The light was golden and dim, revealing faces half hidden in gloom. The vendors moved slowly, almost languidly, their clothes outdated, faded sarongs and shirts from decades ago. I didn't recognize anyone. In a small town like ours, you know every face from the fishmonger to the schoolteacher. But these people were strangers, their eyes glassy, staring through me. An old woman sold fruit, but it was withered, skins wrinkled like they'd been picked years ago, still caked in grave dirt. A man hawked scrap metal, but not junk, broken silver bracelets, faded amulets with illegible inscriptions, wooden toys for children dusted in age. I stood there, heart pounding, trying to make sense of it. No one noticed me, like I was invisible. Then, a raspy voice cut through from the nearest stall. "Somphong, what are you looking for?" I spun around. It was an old woman behind a stall of antiques, one eye covered by a black cloth patch. The other eye gleamed under the candlelight, sharp and knowing. Her face was deeply lined, like river-carved wood, cracked by time and elements. She wore a threadbare fastened skirt, faded to grey. "How do you know my name?" I demanded, my voice shaky from the surprise and the chill in the air. She smiled, revealing yellowed, gapped teeth. "Names aren't secrets here. You've found TALAT KHUN DAP, the market of the forgotten. What do you seek? An old memory, an unkept promise, a lost loved one?" I shook my head. thinking she was mad. TALAT KHUN DAP. I'd never heard of it. Our town had the old market, the new one by the river, but no forgotten market. I turned to leave, convinced this was some vagrant gathering in the rain. But my eyes caught on an item on her stall, a silver necklace with a heart-shaped pendant engraved with faint letters. It looked familiar, tugging at childhood memories. My mother had worn something similar before she disappeared. She vanished when I was about 10, a stormy night like this, out fishing on the river to feed us. Her boat washed up empty, no body ever found, just rumors that the Mekong had claimed her. It was the deepest scar in my life, the reason I avoided dredging up the past, steering clear of family stories or town folklore. I wasn't superstitious, but memories of her were a shadow that haunted my dreams. "How much for this necklace?" I asked, not sure why the words came out. My voice echoed oddly in the whispering space. The old woman chuckled, a dry rustle like dead leaves. "No money here, boy. You pay with something else. A memory, a name, a bond. Choose wisely, trades are forever." I thought she was joking or scamming, so I snatched the necklace, feeling an icy chill spread from the metal to my skin, like it was alive. She didn't stop me, just watched with that enigmatic smile. I hurried away, clutching it, sloshing back through the lot to my house. As I reached the door, the power surged back on. Streetlights buzzed to life. Generators roared in the distance, the town awakening. I glanced back, the lot was empty again, just weeds and shadows. I chalked it up to fatigue and the storm playing tricks. But that night, the dreams came. I lay in bed, the necklace on my nightstand, and slipped into a deep sleep. In the dream, I wasn't Somphong anymore. I was a woman named Lan, living in Ban Hawi Loam during French colonial times, around 1950. I traded along the river, ferrying goods from Laos to Thailand on a rickety wooden boat. My husband died in the war, leaving me with a sickly young daughter. On a blackout night like this, I went to the river for a deal with a shadowy figure on the bank. I traded a piece of my memory to save her, but the river swallowed me whole. The dream was vivid. I felt the river's stink, the water slapping the hull, the ache of loss as my daughter called my name in vain. I woke sweating, the details etched in my mind. I slipped the necklace on, thinking it might help recall my mother better. But slowly, Lan's memories bled into mine. I remembered unfinished deals, broken vows, as if they were my own. I started doubting, was this just a dream? The blackouts grew more frequent after that. Every time the town plunged into total darkness, no lights, no fires, the market reappeared. I found myself returning, not out of curiosity, but compulsion, like the place was summoning me. Mekong, that's what the old woman called herself, was always there, waiting. "You belong here, Somphong," she'd rasp. "The town forgets so much, but the market remembers. The unburied dead, unfinished bargains, shattered promises, they all gather." I asked about my mother, and she laughed. She didn't disappear. She just relocated. She was once a vendor here, like you might be. I didn't believe it, but then I saw Noi, my sister. She'd left town years ago after a big fight about selling our parents' old house. She blamed me for being too practical, not searching harder for Mom, and cut ties when she moved to Vietnam. Now, there she was in the market, behind a stall of wooden toys, her long hair the same, but her eyes vacant, like fogged glass. "Noi, it's me," I shouted, grabbing her arm. She looked up, blank. "Who are you?" "I don't know you. Care to buy?" Her voice was flat, unrecognizing. I panicked, fled the market, but from then on, memories of Noi faded. I tried calling her number in Vientiane, it didn't exist, as if she'd never been my sister. The market wasn't ordinary. It was a liminal space, overlapping past and present, unbound by time. The items carried memories, bring one home, and they overwrote your reality. I bought a wooden doll from another stall, and new dreams hit. I was a boy named Cam, drowned in a 1980 flood, toy left forgotten on the bank. I woke with his terror, cold water filling lungs. Blackouts didn't just kill lights, they erased identity. Power symbolized order, modern awareness, recorded history. Without it, the town reverted to unnamed chaos, people replaceable by alternate selves. I started forgetting co-workers' names, Noi's birthday, even Dad's face. I dug into the past. I questioned elders, but they averted eyes, fearful. "Don't speak of TALAT KHUN DAP. It's been there forever, since our grandparents' time. When power fails, the forgotten return." I sneaked into the tiny town library, poring over dusty records. Vague mentions of a ghost market by the river, where a record keeper balanced life and death. May Cam was that keeper, not ghost, not human. She existed to ensure nothing forgotten goes without a place. Then, through necklace dreams, I uncovered Mum's truth. In a long vision, I saw her vending at the market years ago. She vanished in a trade, swapped family memories to save the town from an old epidemic when I was young. She became part of the market, a forgotten one, for our lives. The market thrived on people like me straddling, present and past, pulled by history. The climax came on the longest blackout. Around 2014, flood rains pounded like judgment, the Mekong swelling to devour us. The market bloomed larger, stalls spilling to the riverbank. May Cam beckoned, chooses Somphong, restore power. The market fades, but so does your mother's memory. Or let it endure forever, and stay with the forgotten. I stood amid the storm, wind whipping, necklace freezing. Whispers encircled me, shadowy faces waiting. I spotted Mum far off, vending, ignoring my calls. Heartbreaking, I raced to the station, hands trembling as I fixed lines in the gale. Wires snapped, fuses blown, but I persisted. Power returned, the whispers silenced. Market vanished. The town revived, but I felt a soul piece dissolve. Mom's memories dimmed to fragments. Now, in 2026, I'm still in Ban Hai alone, but it's changed. Power's stable with new grids, yet during big rains and brief outages, I glimpse flickers behind the old market. Did I choose right? Is the market truly gone, or waiting for the next total blackout? And I wonder, am I still truly Somphong, or just a forgotten memory wandering reality? If you're in a riverside town like this and power cuts, stay inside. Don't look at the empty lot. If you see the market, you might never return the same.